Your national radio. KBC English Service.
Before 9 o'clock news bulletin, let's speak to David Matsanga. New week, new day, new date, full of, fresh happenings. And I know considering that we ushering into a new week from another weekend. So there are likely to be a lot of developments to discuss about, and that's why we're linking up with Japan African Forum on phone to get his thoughts on what is trending. David Matsanga, good morning. How was your weekend?
Good morning. My weekend was fantastic. Of course, I spent it indoors and trying to do exercise, cooking here and there, learning. I don't learn to cook because I learned how to cook about 36 years ago when I started cooking. In fact, more beyond that, I knew how to cook, to prepare a meal, and that is what I am an expert in. So I'm all right. I'm happy, and I am ready to go.
What's your new normal? I've seen people sharing their new normals after the outbreak of COVID-19, which has interrupted a lot of activities, a lot of normal activities that have been happening. So your new normal, something that you used not to do, but due to coronavirus, you are doing it.
Almost all these things that I do them, all of them. I have a television station online. I have to talk to people. I have to prepare my topics. I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning, 4 a.m. and I'm out. I'm working. I'm on my desk, answering several other departments, and then by 6 I am up and I'm doing some other thing in preparation for a new day. So there is nothing new that I have developed which I don't do. I do cook my food in weekends. I do make sure that I go and do a bit of exercise and try to do things, because at the moment, for me, my family and my children are grown up, so I don't have any other small activities that I can change to a new normal. No, they are all the same. I continue with it. I continue with defending Africa. I continue with writing out articles that are critical. I, of course, continue to defend President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Matsanga, of course, when he says that he also keeps fit and jokes around over the weekend, and that's why maybe his shape looks like a young one. When you see him, you wouldn't imagine he's in his 60s. But now, away from that, let's speak about the happenings of corona outbreak. One Honorable Mutahi Kagwe trending for the better part of the day yesterday after allegedly firing a Kemri top official in what is being believed to be the delay in transmission of test results. People saying that Mutahi Kagwe started very well, but now he's ruining the party. I don't know. What's your evaluation?
Look, this time, emergency orders. I've written an article this morning. Obey the guidelines and orders of emergency. The emergency, this is an emergency. This is no excuse of any civil servant, anybody employed anywhere, to delay certain things that could affect the population. Delaying results could affect the population. Delaying results could hold people in the quarantine more than the needed time. Those are the consequences. You should weigh, as much as you want to condemn Mutahi Kagwe, I support him fully, 100%, for sacking some people who are lazy, who want to deal there around, do things of their own. The time they are given money, they are given government cars, they are given government protection, they are given disposal of government facilities. They don't want to deliver. This is not the time to be complacent. This is the time to make sure that if it is 10 o'clock, you deliver the results so that the people who have been quarantined know their results and go home. So you cannot blame Mutahi Kagwe for being one of those tough ministers. I agree with him. In fact, if there are so many other people who have made that ministry not workable, or not working, let him sack them.
Dr. Tedros, the Director General of WHO, World Health Organization, also has had his challenges. Of course, he's a man loved and hated in equal measure. We've seen President Donald Trump of the United States of America saying that he has been in contact with Ethiopian Prime Minister who disclosed to him that they need some assistance with regards to fighting COVID-19, and that's where Dr. Tedros come from. That is his country of origin, Ethiopia. That is, he also had some praise for tycoon businessman Bill Gates, and you remember Bill Gates has also trended for wrong reasons over sponsoring the processing of COVID-19 vaccine, something that has been condemned, especially by African countries who are believed to be getting used as guinea pigs for testing. US accusing Dr. Tedros for being a Chinese puppet.
First of all, let me tell you, Dr. Tedros is my friend. So I will leave it to God to make judgment. That is all I can tell you. He's my friend, and I will leave it. Let God make judgment. I knew him in 1989 in London. We worked together, so I don't have any more words to add on that. I will leave it to God, and that whatever. But I will touch Bill Gates because I have a formula of Bill Gates and George Soros. My name is George Soros. This group of guys, there is something which is beginning to open up slowly. What is it that they knew? Of course, Dr. Tedros is an African comrade. He worked so hard. I will give him a credit for having risen to that level, even when they didn't want him to reach there. But I am now telling you, on Bill Gates and George Soros, believe me or not, I'm not going to keep quiet, because Bill Gates and George Soros have a plan. They have a plan. Why is it that the disease is killing so many Americans, but they are more worried about us? What is it that they know? What is it that they know that we Africans are going to be at a very vulnerable stage? Yet in America, one state is losing 23 to 25 to 30,000 people. Jermaine, one state. And it is true. What is it that they are so obsessed in Africa that they know we don't know? So those two gentlemen, Dr. Tedros, I will leave him. He's a freedom fighter. He's my friend. We struggled together in exile in London. So I will leave him. Let other people deal with that. I will not, as an African editor, because I was slightly older than Dr. Tedros at that time when he was studying in Nottingham University. I will just give him that element that maybe he didn't know some things. But on this Mr. Bill Gates and George Soros, who are trying to regime change Africa, who are trying to bring conditions of giving the vaccine, of talking about Africa, we are watching you. We are watching you. We are watching you. And we are not going to keep quiet, because we know what George Soros does. We know what the George Soros surrogates, orphans who are in Kenya, who are in Uganda, who are in Zimbabwe, who want to take opportunity to change governments through regime change mechanisms of despondency. They want to create a state of despondency, spread an unnecessary rumor of a vaccine that has not reached here. Nobody has the vaccine. Why is Bill Gates and George Soros talking about what we don't know? Do they have it? Did they have it? Did they manufacture it? So those are some of the things, boss, that we are looking at. And for us, some of us, on any other matter, they can, international agencies like UN can deal with that matter if there was anything. But on these two mercenaries, two mercenaries. I want to warn Africans to be on standby for us to face them, because their tone of language is not very good. I'm telling you, KBC and Kenyans listening, over 25 million people listening, they are not good people. They are trying to do everything to destabilize Africa, to commercialize the disease. Commercialization of this disease is very bad. It's like a commercializing corruption or politicizing corruption. Let's not commercialize this disease. This disease is there. Let's find solutions. But for them to be pointing that Africa will be vulnerable, Africa will be vulnerable, when in the United States, a huge number of people have died. If that medicine is there, why are they not starting it from there? These are the questions that some of us will ask in the near future. Otherwise, that is all I can talk about that subject.
Always a pleasure speaking to you, sir. Thank you for your time. Good day ahead, and be blessed and all the best in all your undertakings. It's been nice talking to you on phone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would want also to take this opportunity to thank President Uhuru Kenyatta and to call upon East African heads of state to conduct a virtual meeting to discuss the difficulties that we have on the borderlines, on the land border entry points. We would like to discuss and have a uniform policy. That is all as an African, a man who can see what is going to happen. Let's not finish it to complete remove the pandemic, then we get endemic. It is very bad. Those two words, you can remove pandemic, then you end up endemic, and then it begins all over again. Let's call upon East African heads of state, and I ask, and I want to thank President Uhuru Kenyatta, President Museveni, President Kagame, President Magufuli, President Nkurunziza, President Salva Kiir. Wake up and smell this coffee. There is something which is not working properly. Let's harmonize it. Let's have a harmonized policy. And we get there, we shall get rid, we shall overcome.
Thank you.
KBC English Service. Your number one radio. KBC English Service.